Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on this video, I'm going to be talking to you on how to effectively bill a Nigerian client for a website job. In my experience, I have realized, and I've also been a victim of undercharging and sometimes even overcharging, or probably not presenting your payment structure properly, and this can lead to a lot of undesired effects, one of which is unhappy customers or unhappy software engineer, or a lot of complications along the line. So I'm going to be trying to explain the more effective ways you can charge your clients and end up coming out happy on the other side. All right, so this is going to be our board where we jot idea dump, okay, where we jot down what we're going to be doing. So we have a Nigerian client, for instance, who wants a website, and I'm just reading through my notepad here. Who wants a website, and this is the Nigerian client is a church. They want a website. So on my table here, the first thing you need to do when you have such a client approach you for a job is understand the project scope. And this is what I mean by that. You need to know what the client wants. So ask them series of questions like what kind of websites do you want? When you close your eyes and you think about your website, what comes to mind? What kind of functionalities do you expect to enjoy from your website? Because everything they say then will help you come up with a project structure, project schedule, and also effectively come up with a pricing system for the job. Now, if you're a software engineer, you need a couple of skills under your belt. Number one, you need to at least be a full stack engineer. Full stack, whether it's front end heavy or back end heavy, whatever the stack is, you need to be a full stack engineer. So you need to have a good command of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and maybe JavaScript frameworks like React, Vue, Angular, etc. You also need to have a strong grasp of a backend, of a server-side programming language and framework, say Laravel, Django, Node.js, etc., depending on what your training is. If you ask me, in my opinion, a very good combination would be Laravel, React, or Vue, and I'll tell you why in a second. Laravel, because Laravel is a very robust backend framework built on PHP. Now, I know PHP has a lot of mixed responses when it is brought up in the community, but the truth still remains that about 70% of the entire web is powered by PHP. So it is what it is. Secondly, the hosting options, the cost of hosting a PHP project is drastically lower than, I don't know if drastically is the right word for that, please, but it's a lot lower than it is for hosting a Python project or a Node.js project, in my opinion. At least with $50 you can effectively host a PHP project, like very effectively for a whole year, as long as you're conversant with the cPanel shared hosting infrastructure, which honestly doesn't take a lot to figure out. Now that we have that out of the way, this is for software engineers. So if the client says they want a website that where they describe their church or describe their products, just some sort of information landing page, and then maybe a blog where they can upload post programs, etc., from time to time. Well, thank you very much for that project description. If that is all they want from their website, please, it is best to just use WordPress. or Wix or one of those websites building third-party applications. Whip this up together and then get out of the way. If you're not a good WordPress developer yourself, just pass it down to the nearest WordPress engineer and developer you know. And this is the reason. It does not make any sense for you to sit down and try to code out a blog from scratch when somebody can do that same thing in WordPress in a lot shorter, when you think about the time constraints. And then because WordPress has been on the internet, has been in service for as long as it has, there is no kind of blog that you would want to code out that cannot be done with WordPress without the stress of bugs, of some silly bugs. So please, if that is all they want, send it to a WordPress developer if you cannot do it yourself. But let's say that's not what they want. Now, we're saying our church clients, for instance, now want a website that will talk about the church, etc. They want their members to be able to register and keep an account, effectively have a dashboard on the platform. Yes. They want members to be able to post prayer requests and then maybe receive emails and notifications from time to time. Nice. They want to accept donations. They want members to be able to pay their tithes straight from their bank accounts. Nice. Now that is a beautiful project I would want to be part of, not because it's a church project, but because, well, it's an all-encompassing project. Very nice. The next question you're going to need to ask your clients is, you obviously can't do this alone. So you're going to need the services of a graphics designer, a UI UX designer, a content writer to pull this off. This is assuming that you're a full stack developer and you don't necessarily need the help of another developer. Now you ask your clients, are you going to be providing the content writer, or will they provide their content writer? Would they be providing their graphics designer? Because a lot about the look and feel of the website is going to be branding related, and that has to tally with the church's already existing brand, with the client's already existing brand. So would they be providing their graphics designer, or would you be providing one? Now, for a UI UX designer too, would they be providing a UI UX designer, or will you be providing one? If they will be providing these people, then that's great. If you are going to be providing these people, then you have to factor the cost of hiring these people into whatever bill you give to them. Now, having understood the project scope and everything it takes, the next thing you need to do is break down the project into milestones and then attach time frames to the milestones. Also attach time frames to the milestones. Attach financial rewards to the milestones, and then attach meetings to the milestones. So some sort of review meetings. The truth is that you need to understand, and you also need to explain, find a way to explain to your clients that there's no such thing as a complete website. Apparently, every website is undergoing changes, is undergoing revisions and upgrades, because from time to time the needs of the users will need to increase or reduce, or they're going to be refactoring of certain features and bugs and stuff. So naturally there will always be changes on the website. They need to understand this, right? So the best way we can quantify this is milestones, and then we'll decide from the milestones we draw, we decide when we have come to a minimum viable product for them, and how long it will take, and how much you will charge per milestone till you get to the minimum viable product. After the minimum viable product, you can now talk about what you're going to be charging for maintenance and upgrades, which will still be feature based, right? So let's break down this project into milestones. So we have landing page, about us page, contact us page, those nice ones. Apparently we're going to box all that into a particular milestone. And this is assuming, for instance, this is assuming that they provided their UI/UX designer, graphics designer, content writers, and those people are done whipping up the basic look and feel. So all you're doing is developing. Now, we're done with the home pages and stuff. There is a bill on that, so you charge them for that. They pay, they review your work, they pay for it, and then you move to the next level. If they refuse to pay for it or there's back and forth, you can now decide whether or not you want to proceed with the project. Now that gives both the client and the software engineer a bit of peace of mind. So the client doesn't feel like they're paying too much and not getting the equivalent results. And then the software engineer doesn't feel like he's being victimized because he took money, he received money that isn't even equivalent to the stress. Now, the next milestone, for instance, would be the user registration system and then a basic dashboard containing the informations that the church members should have. That's a nice milestone. Next one can be the financial part of it, which is accepting donations, maybe integrating Paystack, Flutterwave, etc. Accepting donations, accepting tithes, and those kind of things. Having done this, each time you meet a milestone, it is subjected to review, and then as soon as the client is happy with it, you move to the next phase, and then you go to uploading the project. And all in all, depending on what you think your time should be valued at, you can now attach finances to this. Say, for instance, for each milestone, I'm going to be, depending on the complexity of the milestone, I'm going to be charging 50,000 or 100,000 or 200,000. And also remember to factor in your fixed cost, which will be things like the cost of hosting, the cost of buying a domain. If you're going to be the one handling those things, you also need to factor those costs in. And that's, my friends, brothers and sisters, tech bros and techies, that is how you save yourself the headache when you are billing a Nigerian client. I know this has not particularly been the end all be all for negotiations and placing price tags on your projects for clients, but I'm sure this will give you a very decent foundation on how to move forward and avoid many of the pitfalls that some of us have gone through and maybe recovered from or maybe not recovered from. So that'll be all from now. Remember to share your thoughts on the comments. Let me know what you think. If you've experienced issues with clients because you build them wrongly, or just let's talk on the comments box. You share your thoughts. Share this video with a software engineer with a software engineer who might be struggling with this or who has experienced this. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.